Oh, Miriam's there.
All right, do we have a motion to convene the marketing committee meeting?
I so move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Louisa, do you want to start since you're on Zoom? Make it a little
Lisa
easier.
Martinez,
Paul Bauer.
Bill Zolper, Town Manager.
Alex Sedgwick, Marketing Committee Chairperson.
Ellen Winkler.
Patrice Gansey.
All right, do we have a motion for adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion for the approval of the April 2nd, 2024 Marketing Committee meeting minutes.
Moved.
Do we have a second? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so on the agenda, we have 3 items. We do have public comments, so we're actually going to push that up and do that first. So would you like to go first?
Yes.
Now, keep in mind, please keep the public comments to 3 minutes or less.
Hi, I'm Pat Wright. I used to be one of your elected officials. I am here to ask you to take over a volunteer thing that a bunch of us have been doing on town property that we've sort of gotten older and busy. We take care of the stuff on the Bay Walk for the holiday, and then now we do the planters, but we would like this committee to sort of organize it and take it from just us volunteers. And there's just a couple of us, but I'm one of them. That's it.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you, Pat. First of all, thank you obviously for doing all the volunteering. I think I could speak for the committee when we would be happy to do that. As the marketing committee, it is our job to promote the town, but I think beautification, especially around the holidays, will help that as well. So,
Yeah, and if I can just expand on that. So the Hyatt property is really twofold. It's the stuff that they own, which is the higher level of the boardwalk. And then the lower level is the towns, and the beach is the towns. So from there, so any beautification, that the Hyatt does, they do it for their own property. They don't do it for the town. I mean, they have, and, at times for us, but, that's a big ask to keep doing it. But anyhow, so the planters that were out there, they bought those boxes for the town. And then for a number of years, it's worked. I don't know how many years we've had planters back there, but it's been quite a while. And those nice chairs that are out there and those kinds of things. So, it's just reached the point now, they said they would water those plants for us. We just need to spruce up 4 of them.
Well, that's huge because watering them, I was one of the first people that had to water them and it was a nightmare.
Right.
We had no easy water. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it's easy for them because they have to water their own. So their planter's here, then ours is here.
Right.
We're like,
Right.
that's going to take you an extra 15 seconds.
Right, and they'll do that,
Right.
for sure.
They do it now for their own.
Okay, and they'll do ours.
Yes.
yeah, and I think, we definitely would be willing and would want to absorb this, but we do have to be mindful of Dewey and Bloom
Right.
because we are not technically the charter members of that, if my understanding is correct. So we have to be very conscious of how we're doing this, whether it's under just the Dewey Marketing Committee or Dewey and Bloom.
Yeah, and this would be for next year anyhow, so,
Yeah.
or maybe the fall, I don't know.
Well, I think if we keep it under the marketing committee, that's a lot cleaner than trying to do it with Bloom.
Yeah, I agree. The committee itself, we can volunteer to do it, or again, we can, do an outreach to the town via newsletter, things like that, and then ask people who want to volunteer. But I think that's something that we can easily absorb.
And I'll say, as I was talking to people on Saturday, there were a lot of new people who volunteered for Dewey and Bloom. And a lot of them said, I've been wanting to get involved in something for years in this town and I haven't been able to, and this is my chance to build roots in the community and meet my neighbors. I think there are probably lots of people out there who would volunteer who aren't involved yet. So definitely let's not see it as the only option.
Yeah, and I do also want to make special note of the Dewey and Bloom members, but also Patrice. I got a lot of early great feedback about the event on Saturday at the planting. So again, you're doing a terrific job with that. So good job.
Thank you.
They look pretty.
We've got a lot of us here who were involved, Louisa and Paul and Ellen and Kate and Bill was involved in just supporting us. So it was a great, fun project.
Glad to hear. I believe we also have a few other people on Zoom. Are you here for public comments? And if so, please let us know.
No, just listening. Thank you.
Hi, Miriam.
Hello.
I know that voice.
All right, well then, with that in mind, we can move on to the next agenda item. We have discuss and possibly vote to recommend a new town event to the town council. So one thing this was inspired was, I know he's not here today, but Alex Hanna and I were discussing a lot of different places across the country have events that inspire tourism for a season. And even if you just look at some of our neighbors, you have Rehoboth with Sea Witch, you have Milton that has the St. Patrick's Day Festival. So if there's a way that we could kind of leverage a holiday or even just a time of year and create maybe a parade or some event that inspires people to come to visit the town when they may not have, again, that helps the Dewey Business Partnership, helps the businesses, and just helps in general. We'd like to look for a way to try to talk that out. So we had thought of, again, maybe a Easter parade. I know Dewey Business Partnership's already doing that egg scoop, so that could be a really cool family event where then you have the parade and the kids could go do the egg hunt and then, you know, they celebrate Easter that weekend. If we don't want to make it tied into any specific holiday, maybe in the fall after the season's over. But those are just some ideas, if anybody wants to kind of chip in.
I think Easter might be good. We could get little souvenirs and pass them out to the kids from the cars that are, the floats, maybe somebody that's artistic would help with a float and we could, you know.
Might even get
pass
the
them.
Easter bunny or something.
Yeah,
It's in my third bedroom.
Yeah. Somewhere there's an Easter bunny suit, I think.
Paul in the bunny collar.
But we could work that out.
Yeah, I love the idea. I think it would be great. And I'm not particular about, I haven't thought. I think Easter is a
Yeah.
great option. I think your idea of making it a family thing and not
Yeah, I like
not a
Christmas.
drinking holiday parade would be
Yeah.
great.
I like Christmas too for the children.
Christmas
That's-
could also be very good. I don't know logistics overall in terms of whether if that's an issue, but even just because it is Route 1, and I know other events do shut down Route 1, but how that factors in, whether that makes it harder to do or not. So all those things would obviously have to be discussed.
So in the past, when we had like the Clydesdales,
Oh, that was wonderful.
those things are like 260,000, 250,000 to bring the Clydesdales. I mean, that's just an insane.
Yeah.
That's out of our budget, but.
Yeah.
Did the town do that or did
No.
Monty do that?
No, the business partnership, I thought, all the businesses as a whole.
I just did the line.
We could do the goats from Goat Yoga. I bet they're cheap.
Can always get the mummers from Philly.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
yeah.
But Easter would, I like Easter as one. So the logistics of that is DelDOT would have to shut down Route 1, at least one lane of it. And then for a period of time, maybe we go from, I think the Clydesdales went from the Starboard to the Hyatt.
Exactly.
So, you know, for 15 minutes or so, the road's closed
We
down.
have to have permission to do that.
Just can't shut down a state road. Well, people have. I mean, you see it every day now.
Yeah.
Legally now.
This is just maybe a workaround and maybe it doesn't work, but what if it's even just a walking parade on the beach instead? You know,
Walking parade on the
something
beach,
like
we
that.
could use Bayard somehow.
Yeah, you know, if that is a roadblock, no pun intended, you know, just thinking of creative solutions beyond that.
100 years ago, we did the 4th of July walk on the beach. And people did costumes.
Yeah,
And of course, everybody laying around on the beach was loved it, especially the children.
yeah.
Maybe you want to focus at 4th of July.
I mean, again, I don't think any of us are married to any specific date. I think it's just more of figuring out a way to make this work so that people would actually participate and get excited about it, you know?
Yeah, 'cause when we look at June, July, August, we're full. I mean,
Yeah.
we're, you know, if we have an event, we're not, the net number of new people that
Yeah.
come in, they're probably already down here but in a neighboring town. right?
Yeah.
So, that's why you want to look at the shoulders
Yeah.
of those and
A
You know.
dog parade, would that work?
dog parade.
It would, but I think I know they do the doodles and
Right, we have
and the poodles. So again, I don't know if
And we have the Golden Jubilee.
Yeah, so I don't know if
don't
we're
we?
encroaching too much then on that, but I think it's definitely a good idea.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like
But yeah,
Easter
so I can look into some of that, Bill, if you want. I'll call Bill about, or you want to call Peter, or should I?
Yeah, I think shutting Route 1 down is it's a big project.
It is a big project. It's a big ask.
Yeah.
Especially on a weekend.
Yeah.
If you do it during the week, that's a little different. On the
Right.
weekend, it's a big ask.
So what do? You put a time limit on it or a distance limit or both?
Just like when they do running of the bull,
Uh-huh.
they know exactly when it's going to go. There's a lot of police involved.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because if some car comes through, you got to make sure everybody's blocked off and
Yeah.
the car doesn't. I mean, you see that sometimes at parade. I don't know if you notice at Sea Wedge, but they have those big things that
They
like
do.
cars can't drive through them
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously.
It's sad, but that's, you got to prepare for all
Yeah,
those
and
things.
Sea Wedge benefits from the fact that that strip is off the highway, so that it's not necessarily shutting down everything around it, so.
That's a street within their town limits.
Exactly, so, again, if that means walking parade is that workaround, maybe that's the solution, which, sounds like it was done in the past and to good fanfare, so I don't see that being a
We
problem.
can explore that, yeah. I mean, it's worth a few phone calls to see.
If you do Easter, could we do the Pat's idea and you go to the beach?
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
and I think that could, again, obviously without talking to the Dewey Business Partnership yet about it, but you can then coordinate it where it literally just walks to the event and then it's.
Parade route could be come all the way down Bayard and, then everybody's got to cross the street. We can shut it down for a few minutes while people
Yeah.
cross the street. Well, if everybody keeps pressing a button, it's going to shut down itself.
Yeah,
What kind of thing could we have that was an event to tie in with if it's a walking parade? I mean, I know we can't do the Clydesdale, so we don't have any money. But what do we have?
Oh, we have
that's-
money, not that kind of money.
What do we have that's around here that's cheap and people would like to come for?
I was thinking that maybe during Christmas, if we had Santa go on a fire truck and go through some of the neighborhoods and pass out candy, that maybe,
He comes to Pfeiffer's and on the fire truck.
okay.
So that's already kind of been done.
And that's a partnership.
All right.
Hmm.
I just,
though, too.
I've seen Santa go through neighborhoods in like Lancaster and it's always a big deal. All the kids come out and, they throw candy at them and.
Yeah, that's why I was talking about the Easter Bunny,
Yeah.
would do the same kind
Yeah.
of thing.
yeah, I think it also obviously is going to depend on what the scope is that we're trying to
Yeah,
do. If we're
yeah.
trying to make this obviously a very massive thing, then we would need a lot more coordination. We'd have to talk to local businesses to
Sure.
see what they're interested in doing and,
We have time.
we have plenty of time, but it's just a matter of, kind of understanding what we're trying to do.
So we can
what we're gonna
organize
accomplish.
something and advertise it. And
Yeah.
frankly, unless we're bringing in, if we're organizing it and just maybe try to get like some local band or something, maybe from the high school.
School
Yeah.
band.
School band or something to come through as part of it. I mean, that doesn't cost a whole lot of money and we could tie it into the Easter egg scoop.
Yeah.
Or
Don't the Lions march in parades?
Lions always do
We're
that.
not doing anything recent, are we, Paul? We're not marching.
We have
We
it.
just did that one with the Clydesdales, which of course you drove. And I sort of orchestrated what lines.
Well, we got all sorts of stuff.
Sorry.
Maybe whoever ends up doing the holiday tree down at the lighthouse,
The Hyatt does the Hyatt tree.
right? Maybe we could fund Cape Chorus to come over and do holiday songs
Yeah.
That's
the night
nice.
the tree is being lit or the menorah is being lit, right? We can't, we got to balance it out. We could do it during the holiday tree and have the songs hit all the different holidays.
Yeah.
And I know that they do that because I've been to some functions where some of the chorus are at private homes and they get a donation and they come
Right.
and they sing holiday songs. So I don't know, it's just a thought, it's not a parade or anything, but,
I think it's a good one.
we just have to make sure we hit all the holidays
Yeah.
if you're gonna use public money for it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea.
That's what you and I kind of did on the,
Now, if it's donations, then you have a lot more leeway in what you can do.
a little more.
Well, I guess if we were looking with donations, if we can then also kind of tie that to the fundraising efforts for town hall, where it's like 25% of the donations go to town hall and then the rest are going just to pay for the event. Again, I don't know if that's a legal thing that wouldn't be allowed, but that could also kind of help the fundraising efforts too.
Yeah. Yeah, now we have some solid plans moving forward on the town hall, so we're getting ready to get moving on that too.
Cool.
A lot of fundraising to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think kind of based on the conversation, it sounds like we're all in favor of this, but we're not ready to propose anything yet. So I
Right.
think we continue to talk about this, and then for the next meeting with the idea, trying to come up with a much more solid plan that we can all kind
And
of.
Alex always has great ideas.
Yes, he does. So I know he's back from vacation, so he should be at our next meeting. But yeah, I agree absolutely. So. All right. So then our last agenda item: discuss Dewey and Bloom updates.
Well, we did it. We planted
Yay!
28 plants. I think we had about 30 volunteers out on both those days. It was a 3-day event.
Seemed like there was more.
Well, I think there were family members and
Yeah.
there were some sponsors who were there and so on. Yeah, our big thing now, this is our first year. It's trial and error. We think we've laid a really good groundwork, but you have to see how the teams work, especially during the summer as people start going back and forth for vacation. Want to make sure the plants stay alive. You have to pay attention to any possible damage from people in town. Although so far, we've been driving through town and everything's been great, so, and the plants are actually starting to
They
grow a little
are,
bit.
they
It
are.
looks great.
They're so cute.
So, this is our first year, we're gonna see how it goes, we're gonna pay attention to what we need to change for the future. We will do planting in the fall, and the team needs to talk about ongoing fundraising. And, what other kinds of things we need to consider as we move forward, but it went well.
I heard water issues. I didn't have
yes.
any, but I heard some of the other people say they had issues with water, that there wasn't an easy source for them. So I guess we can talk to the steering committee, because the way our team did it, we had a car that came around, and the car had jugs of water and the bins of water. And then we could fill them up at the police station, although that thing on that faucet is really hard to touch, but.
Probably a reason for
But
that.
yeah, but that made it really easy for us to always have the water, especially the first day we did so much with the soil.
Yeah, it took a lot of water to start that off. We're also going to be cataloging where the water sources were for each team.
Okay.
So we're going to have people filling in, and we're going to have to look in
Yeah.
the future. So we'll try to have a record of where people
they
can
can
go
go.
around it, and what we might need to do differently next year.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. And the fire department from Rehoboth, I meant to
They were
ask,
awesome.
did we give them their check yet? We did, yay, good. They were awesome. They came by and they did the first watering. And,
Thank you, Paul, for setting that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Whose
wonder if
camera
we
is that
need
on,
to
by
do
the
a
way?
summer fill.
Whose camera is it? Is that on mine?
Ellen Driscoll.
Oh, that one has it, yeah.
Paul,
It'll be the Cape Gazette this week.
yeah. I-
Patrice, did you want to mention anything about the civic group inviting all the people to go to the June 7th, 21st, or 22nd?
Yes, Diane is trying to work out a date where the Civic League can invite Dewey and Bloom, and I'm sure anybody else, to a happy hour. So far, our committee has answered with every different date they could answer with, so coordination's going to be an issue, but it was a nice invitation, so we appreciate that.
Can't please everybody. Pick a date, and see who can make it, makes it.
Right.
Much.
Kate, I see that we have someone else requesting to add a public comment. Are we allowed to?
Sure.
Yep. Miriam, did you want to make a public
Oh.
comment?
Yeah, sure. So this comes a little bit on the heels of the whale that did come up on the inlet, and the Marine Education and Research Rehabilitation Institute's presence there. And again, us being a coastal community, as an annual event or an event, could we do something like an Oceans Day where we do tie in something of educating the public about the ocean? Could be a parade where people dress up. I know the Starboard has shark costumes and MER has shark costumes, but it'd be opportunity to educate the public about, our oceans. We could have a different theme every year and pick a certain category, but I guess with that whale and the fascination with that, we realize we don't really know a lot about the environment which we live, and just an idea.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
It is
Yeah.
good, it is a good
Thank
idea.
you.
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely thank you for that. Yeah, it's a good idea.
And I'm happy to help. I, talked to some other organizations. There's an organization called Sharks for Kids, and they would come in and do lectures for children about animals in the ocean. And I did talk to Kelly Ranieri about that with business partnership, and even that she thought would be a good idea to tie in. Monty's mascot is the shark, so he could do some Starboard adult trivia theme things and really capitalize on that theme. So I'm happy to share some more ideas.
Trivia.
Absolutely.
Trivia is an excellent.
I think we need a new committee member.
We're looking,
Trivia is
so.
an excellent idea.
And I know Suzanne Thurman through MER, and I'm sure she would be happy to do some educational. And it could be something that their organization benefits from donations, when these strandings happen, you educate people what to do with a stranding, keeping people away from the animal, and wonderful opportunities. So again, happy to help.
Marion, the Lions are doing a community day on Saturday from 10 to 2. If they wanted to come to that, you can just have her send me a text or an email, and I'll get her information, if they possibly could make it. I don't think the Lions had invited Mir to it.
Oh,
That's
when is the community day?
Saturday at the
Oh,
Lions.
this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Oh, with the arts festival?
They're separate locations.
Separate location. Okay, I can email her. I know they're really busy doing the whale necropsy and trying to clean up from all that, so they might be too busy to come out, but I can reach out to her.
Yeah, I know our chief's gonna have some of the officers come, and it's a big kids thing, bounce house,
Yeah.
all that kind of good stuff. I don't know if you have chief at art. I know she said
Yeah.
whoever's on duty was gonna come over just to show, be there for the kids, it's good community outreach.
All right, with that in mind, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion.
All right, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
24 minutes.